So above my garage, we've got an apartment, the mother-in-law suite. And the other day, it's having an electrical issue. So I go in to check in on everything, and I notice the refrigerator is off and defrosting. Now, this is one of those older fridges that the freezer compartment is on the inside. In that freezer, besides there being a lot of ice, I'd also thrown some meat a while back. Well, all of this was defrosting and turning the bottom shelf into what looked to be a crime scene. So, being a man of action, I grab a hammer. Problem, tool, solution, right? So I'm swinging, chipping away at the ice. I get half of it out when all of a sudden I hit the bottom plate there in the freezer. And all of a sudden, there's this noise. It sounds just like a punctured tire, and all of a sudden, yeah, my stomach drops. I just turned a perfectly good vintage appliance into a 200-pound paperweight. Yep, at that moment, I felt pretty darn stupid. Oh, and it gets worse, because I went and talked to my wife, and she just starts shaking her head saying, "Why didn't you ask me?" Apparently, she grew up with a fridge like this and knew you had to be super careful when defrosting these things. Never use a sharp object around it because you could puncture that base plate, which has the coolant lines all running through it. Yes, had I just asked her for some help? Well, if I would have done that, yes, I would still have a working appliance. It wouldn't be out the $1,000 or more it's going to cost me to replace it. Gents, straight up, it was a humbling experience. And the reason I'm sharing it with you is because I want to share with you this point. You don't know what you don't know. The reality is I had no idea that the base plate of that freezer had a coolant line in it. And my mistake wasn't really one of stupidity, it was just of ignorance. And believe it or not, there is a difference. Stupidity, this is when you do something you know you shouldn't do, like walking behind a spooked horse, gambling with money that's not yours or that you can't lose, or both, starting a fight that you can't win. Ignorance, on the other hand, this is just you don't have access to that information. You genuinely didn't know. It's a blind spot. You maybe even looked, but you couldn't see it because it was in an area that was beyond your vision. And the reality is, gents, in our lives, there are tons of areas where there is a lot of danger right below the surface and we don't even know it. When it comes to relationships, most of us haven't received any training here. In fact, the examples that we grew up around were actually not very healthy relationships. When it comes to money, when it comes to wealth building, well, besides not really having great examples, many of us haven't received any type of training. Maybe you've watched a few videos on YouTube, maybe you've even read a finance book. But even then, there's so many dangers, especially when you're trying to get rich quick. Real estate, crypto. Now, the reality is those vehicles have worked for some people, but they've also left a lot of people burned and in a not so great financial position. And this danger below the surface, these blind spots, these hidden problems, well, this also applies to fitness. It applies to health. It applies to your career. It applies to your love life. So how do you deal with this? How do you deal with the unknown? How do you deal with not knowing what you need to know? Well, in my experience, one of the best tools I've found here is to be humble, to ask for help, to surround yourself with people that you can talk to openly and just ask questions. In fact, the smartest people that I've ever met, they're not the ones with all the answers. They're the ones asking the questions. They create a mastermind. In a sense, they surround themselves with people who have experiences they don't have, who have made mistakes that they don't want to make, and who can see blind spots that they don't even know are there. For me, personally, marrying somebody that is very different from me, that complements me in so many ways, has been really great, especially when it comes to relationships, when it comes to raising kids. I mean, I'm kind of jealous in the way that she's been able to connect with our kids and with our family. I mean, I have a good connection, but I mean, she has those deep, multi-hour long conversations. It's almost like, she can read their mind. She not only remembers everyone's birthday without the use of a calendar, but she also remembers anniversaries. Whenever a friend of ours has a baby, she remembers the day and calls like every day on that month for the first year, which actually is a pretty big deal to new moms. Seriously, I had no idea about this one. Natural medicines, nutrition, healthy eating. This is her forte. And I have to admit, I have received huge benefit kind of just being along for the ride. And on the professional side, surrounding myself with guys that understand paid traffic, people that are amazing at sales, operation and customer service experts. Seriously, if I need help with anything business-wise, I just simply go through my list of contacts on my phone and send a text. And not only are these people willing to listen to my business questions, but they genuinely care about me because I care about them, because we have built a relationship over time. My point, gents, you need a community. The whole idea of that lone wolf, yeah, that's a bunch of BS. If you want to accomplish big things in life, surround yourself with like-minded warriors, men that are looking to become their best selves, and then don't be shy about going to that community with questions. And the great part is you're going to be able to answer some of these questions because your friends will probably come to you. They will recognize, oftentimes we don't even see this in ourselves, the special skill set that each of us have, and they'll start asking you, hey, I'm having an issue with my car, or can you look at my company's numbers because you're so good at accounting? Can you help me out with a tech issue? Or I've got this legal issue. Can I get your opinion? My point is this, gentlemen, when you surround yourself with competent people that not only have knowledge, but also experience, guess what? They're able to shine the light on the problems, on the things that you didn't even know were there. And with that being said, gents, if you're looking for a community of like-minded warriors looking to become their best self, men just like you, gents, I'm linking to our private group, HWP, down in the description. Go check us out if you're serious about becoming your best self. It's a group for professional, mature men looking to become their best selves. We focus in on health, wealth, and purpose. If this all sounds interesting to you, learn more by clicking on the link in the description. And remember, gents, the key here is action. Action through group and individual accountability so that you can take the steps to become the man you know yourself to be. Check out the link in the description of today's video, and I will see you in the community. Seriously, guys, go check it out. What are you still watching this video for? Check out the link. I'm putting it down below. I get it. Okay, just want to watch another video? Well, of course, I've got that for you here at Real Men, Real Style. But you know, I'm going to, come on, guys, go take some action. Check out the link in the description. But yeah, here's a video for you. I take care of you. Yeah.